minutes?
Two.
Okay, good.
Okay, we're live. Awesome.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our diabetes support group. My name's Heather. I'm going to be the facilitator first here. And I was thinking that we could all maybe go around and say, our names and why we're here to get out of this activity.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do it.
Okay, you can go ahead, Abe.
Yeah, I'll go first for sure. Well, my name is Abraham.
Awesome. Hi, Abraham. So where are you from? Where are you calling in from?
I'm from New Jersey.
Cool. Awesome. And so what are you hoping to get out of this support group? Like, why are you here?
Yeah, I'm really hoping to get some more information so I can talk to other people to be more cooperative in other support groups and help some people that have the diabetes disease.
Awesome. That's great. Well, we're glad you're here. Mary Elise, you can go ahead.
Hi, I'm Maria. I am from Winnemucca, Nevada, but I'm living here in Rexburg for a while. I am hoping to get some help with my new diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. Not really, it's just for the purpose of this meeting, but yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Hopefully we can all help you out and learn from each other. Sarah, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Rexburg. Am I supposed to be silent?
I think that the person who's silent is just supposed to, not really want to participate that much, but you can say stuff. Still.
All right.
Okay. Cool. So, one thing I was thinking that we could talk about today is maybe, well, first let me state what the goals are for this meeting today. So, I just want to, we can all talk and help each other know that we're not alone in this. I know that having diabetes can be a really difficult problem. It comes with a lot of things that I know that most of us haven't been used to for a really long time. And hoping that we can, feel more connected through each other's experiences. And just so you guys know, you're allowed to withdraw at any time. And we've all agreed that everything that's said in this meeting will be confidential.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, cool. So I was thinking that today we could talk about how your diet should be living with diabetes and what you guys do, what you think we should do. And we can talk about some things that are recommended and maybe learn from each other's experiences on what you guys do to keep up with your diet, or if you're struggling with that, or what we can do to help each other.
Cool. Yeah, sounds great. Let's talk about it.
Okay, awesome.
So I feel like with my new recent diagnosis, I'm not really sure what to eat. The doctor kind of gave a guideline, but I'm not really sure what would be the best type of foods for me to eat. Do you guys have any suggestions?
Yeah, so according to the diabetes, the National Diabetes Association, when you have diabetes, you should be eating 3 meals a day at regular times, and this helps your body to regulate the insulin that it produces or that you get through a medication. So how do you guys do with that? Do you think that you eat 3 meals a day, or is that hard for you?
I definitely don't eat 3 meals a day. I mean, I am so busy in the mornings, I just don't have time to have breakfast and lunch.
Yeah,
So
I can definitely understand
difficult.
that. That's a real...
Yeah, for sure.
So some things that they recommend. So it's important to get those 3 meals a day in so that your insulin can be, regulated. And it's important when you're eating to make sure that the calories that you're eating come from things that are healthy for your body, to help keep your diabetes under control. So, for example, we can eat healthy carbohydrates. So that's things like, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans. What do you guys think about that? Is that always easy to do?
No, not really.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Sarah, what do you think about that? How is your diet going with diabetes?
It's going all right.
Awesome. Okay. So another thing is fiber-rich foods are really important for regulating diabetes. It helps fiber, moderates how your body digests things, and it helps control your blood sugar levels.
Okay.
One
That's
time,
great, but it tastes like cardboard, you see, and I just get really sick when I eat fiber.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little difficult for me.
yeah, that can definitely be a difficult thing. Abe, do you have any suggestions for that? Would that work for you?
Oh man, that's definitely difficult, but I'd probably learn to cook some vegetables in a different way. Watch some Food Network and maybe get some good tips on how to cook some greens and how to make some good salads.
Awesome. That's really great. Thanks for sharing that. One time I took a class where we were required to calculate how much fiber we were eating in a day, and I was really, really shocked by how little I was actually eating. So one thing that I find helpful is to, buy whole grain products instead. Like if you're eating a ton of pasta, to buy whole grain pasta instead. I think that can be super helpful.
Yeah, it does sound helpful.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds doable if I liked pasta, but it makes me ill.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I have this gluten problem too.
Oh, really?
My life is just impossible, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What kind of foods do you like to eat, Maria?
Well, the things that got me in this mess in the first place. I was really a junk food person. My doctor told me I have to pretty much cut out all of that.
Gotcha. That's kind of a bummer.
It is a bummer. I've been seeing a nutritionist recently about once every week for the past month, and I've definitely made some improvements in my diet, but it's been difficult.
Wow, that's awesome that you've been seeing the nutritionist. That's really great.
Yeah.
Sarah, what do you think about that? Have you ever seen a nutritionist before to help you with your diabetes?
Yeah, a few times.
Has that been helpful to you?
Yeah. It's helped.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're always helpful.
Mm-hmm.
They have good advice.
Abe, what do you think that the best advice that you ever received has been about dealing with your diabetes?
Well, diabetes is a very complicated disease at times, and I guess the best advice that I received personally has been just to always be on top of it, always check my blood sugar, and if I become lazy and don't check it, just make sure I'm eating the proper foods, getting some good greens, low sodium, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. I'm glad that works for you. One thing, Maria, at least, how you were saying that the foods that got you in this place and in this situation in the first place. One thing that I just really want to focus on is that we can't change the past, but we can learn about this now and help us to move forward in the future and hopefully improve our health.
That's true. It's been a struggle, but it's great to have the support of a wonderful husband who helps me with my diet and kind of checking up. It's just
that's so good.
It's just difficult trying to learn a new diet in general and get used to eating more foods that I probably should have been eating in the beginning. I mean, if any, I wish I could encourage all people to go to nutritionists. It's really been great for me.
That's awesome.
Difficult, definitely.
One thing that I really struggle with is sodium, because I also have diabetes, and the sodium can be something that's really, really tricky. I always thought that I was just going to be able to eat as much sodium as I wanted, or the salt on everything, but that's not so. So that's something that's really been tricky for me. So one thing is that, so I just wanted to get your thoughts on what you guys think about this. So the Diabetes Association offers a sample menu, and they talk about what you should have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner as snack. So for breakfast, they suggest having whole wheat bread with a couple teaspoons of jelly, half of a cup of shredded wheat cereal with a cup of 1% low-fat milk and a piece of fruit, and What do you guys think about that? Is that something you could realistically do for breakfast, or is that just too hard, or what other suggestions might you guys have that you find works well for you to eat for breakfast?
I think it's not too difficult. I just think that the difficult part is just doing it. It's kind of like as simple, like it's kind of like walking and exercising. Walking is very easy. Just getting up and doing is the hard part. And as long as I guess we have others in the house that can help us, that makes it easier. And like cut up some fruit for us, or kind of get the rhythm going, because it's easy to start sometimes if it's for your health, but it's hard to continue.
Do you guys have the kind of support that you need at home? Sarah, do you?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit harder if you have other people to take care of.
Yeah, that's for sure. Probably. Do you guys have kids? Probably takes up a lot of your time.
Yeah, the little rascal takes up a lot of time.
So one other thing, what they recommend for having for lunch maybe would be like cheese and a veggie pita, an apple with almond butter and some water. For me, that's been really hard. I don't find that too realistic.
What if we don't like cheese?
Yeah. If you don't like cheese?
What if dairy is hard for us in general? Is there a good substitute?
Water.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, if you're drinking the milk, I think water would be good. What else do you think, Abe?
I guess like natural juices, like you could buy a juicer and just throw in a celery stick or something like that and just get the juice out of it. Probably disgusting, but probably the best way.
Well, and there's lots of calcium in leafy greens. You can put that in smoothies instead of getting it from dairy.
That sounds like a good idea.
Sarah, do you have any suggestions for how you get calcium into your diet?
There's a lot of teas that have high concentration.
Wait, what did you say?
There's a lot of herbal teas that have calcium in them.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great suggestion. That's really awesome. Do you guys ever drink herbal tea?
Oh, yeah.
And being in our religion, I just have a hard time drinking herbal tea, but that is a great suggestion. I know technically we're allowed to drink herbal tea, but that's something that I've just decided not to drink at all and stay safe from breaking that in the word of wisdom for me. So
yeah, I can see how that would be definitely a personal choice, citing that.
Yeah, it's a great suggestion. It's just something that I can't personally do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like that.
So I guess it's time to switch.
Okay.
Okay, so
kind of made me feel like a terrible person. Projecting help.
Okay, so Maria, Elise, do you want to be the facilitator this time?
Sure.
And then,
what should we focus on?
Whatever you want to do. And then Abe, you can be the help rejecting complainer.
Oh, I'm good at that. Okay.
And Sarah, can you be the monopolist? And I'll be the silent one.
What's the monopolist supposed to do?
The monopolist is supposed to interject. Basically, they have an opinion about everything, and they just want to comment on everything and dominate the conversation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, so are we ready to start then?
Yep.
Okay, so has anybody had any experiences with taking medicine for diabetes? For their diabetes? Sarah? Have you had any experience with taking medications and diabetes with remembering to take your medications? Do you have any tips about that?
Yeah, I feel like medication just makes me feel off all the time. It's just not natural.
Why do you say it's not natural?
Because it's coming from out of our bodies and just makes me feel off.
Yeah.
So, what type of medication do you take? You mentioned a little earlier that you were struggling with diabetes.
Well, my doctor always tries to get me on medication. I always kind of refuse because I feel like I could do it by myself, type of thing. Kind of do it natural, like what she was saying. Just I don't really need too much help from medication.
It's actually important to take your medication every day, but there has been news about maybe you can control type 2 diabetes with just your diet in general, depending on how severe your diabetes are or is. What do you think, Heather?
Well, I think it's really important to take your medication. Me, I have type 1 diabetes, so if I don't take it, I'm in real big trouble.
Well, let's talk about exercise now. What sorts of exercises do you guys do having type 1 and type 2 diabetes? Abe?
You have to be careful when you exercise too, because you can collapse if you aren't doing the right thing and eating, and it's dangerous.
True.
That's true. It would probably be good to go and see an exercise physicist or a trainer who can help you do the appropriate types of exercises. How about you, Abe? What type of exercises do you do?
Well, sometimes I go to the gym. Sometimes the trainers walk up to me and they try to offer me their exclusive workout packages. But I really kind of don't like to receive that type of help because, I used to like play a ton of sports and kind of know how to do all that by myself type of thing. I kind of just like to work out on my own.
Well, it's good. What type of workouts do you like to do? Do you have any tips for the group?
Well, kind of private, but I guess you can always like walk a little bit, slightly jog, and then with time you'll be able to do a lot of different things.
That's wonderful. Heather, what type of exercises do you like to do with your type 1 diabetes?
Um, I like to focus on strength training exercises mostly. I find that doing a lot of cardio can sometimes mess with my insulin, but I think it's really important to keep my heart healthy. So yeah, I like strength training exercises.
I feel like we can't do normal things like other people.
Why can't we do normal things like other people, Sarah?
Because they don't have the same worries that we have. And if we do go work out with a friend and they don't have diabetes and we do, then you want to stay working out with them, but you have to take a break at some point and eat something.
So, Sarah, you bring up a wonderful point. I'm going to turn this over to either Heather or Abraham. How do you guys deal with having diabetes and also having to work out? I know that we have to take breaks and eat little bits of food to make sure that our blood sugar is high enough and that doesn't drop too low when we exercise. How do you guys deal with that?
Hey, baby.
Well, kind of like what the doctor always says, to always check your blood pressure. I really don't like to check it all that often. It could be necessary, but I feel like it's over exaggeration to check it all the time. I feel that if you just kind of work out and eat right, or try to eat right, you'll be good. But it's okay to check it once in a while.
Heather, what do you have to say about that?
Well,
do you check your blood pressure all the time?
I don't check my blood pressure a lot, but I check my blood sugar a lot. I have a blood sugar monitor that I carry with me all day long, and I take it, at least 3 times a day, or if I'm ever feeling sick, I take it then too.
Do you regularly check your blood pressure or your blood sugar then? I mean, your blood pressure might not be as important, but do you check your blood sugar?
Once in a while. Sometimes I kind of forget my little machine at home where it checks it, but I kind of just check it by how I feel, and I normally feel pretty good. But when I feel a little down, maybe I might just eat something. Like sometimes I might feel like my sugar's low, but I normally feel good though.
Okay. So this is an open question to the group. Does anybody have any sort of special foods that they eat to make sure they get the appropriate amount of energy and keep their blood sugar high when they're working out? Sarah?
Yeah. Vegetables? Well, kind of. But you can have fruit too. Just all natural stuff. And it will regulate your blood sugar. Better than sugar.
What do you think about
that?
Yeah. What do you think about that, Heather? What type of foods do you like to eat before you work out?
Well, I kind of think something I like doing a lot is, having an apple with peanut butter. I think that's good because then you can get some natural sugar and you can also get some protein.
No, that's a wonderful suggestion. What do you think, Gabe?
That's a good idea. With the apple and peanut butter. To go on another route, I kind of like to take my protein shakes, and I kind of have to take it with the good milk, because if I use whole milk, it'll do some bad to me. And I like to basically go that route. I love red meat, but I don't really know if it does good or bad to me, but my wife doesn't let me cook it, so sometimes I'm stuck without red meat. So, yeah.
Okay. And I guess another open question to the group: how has your life changed since your diagnosis?
A lot.
And
It,
what was
it
that,
seems
Sarah?
like every aspect of your life changes, like exercise and eating, and you have to be careful not to be alone
Mm-hmm.
or be extra careful if you're alone. People, I don't know, become more concerned about you.
How about you, Heather? How has your life changed since your type 1 diabetes diagnosis?
Well, I mean, my life was really normal before the diagnosis, and then I got really sick and I lost a ton of weight, and it was really scary. And then they found out that it was because I had type 1 diabetes, and so since then my life has improved, but it's still not as good as it was before I got sick.
And how about you, Abe?
Well, sometimes I wish the doctor never told me, but yeah, I guess it changed a little bit. Um, Maybe it hasn't really changed for the worst, but it's definitely changed, I guess, my way of thinking and doing things, which could be a positive thing.
So how do you cope with that then? How do you cope with the changes that you have in your life?
Well, it definitely helps with my family that tries to help me, but it gets annoying when they help too much. But yeah, because then I start feeling like I'm like a cancer patient or something. But I guess it's not too bad, and it's a little emotional sometimes, but it's okay.
Heather, do you have any suggestions on how you cope with your type 1 diabetes? On how we can maybe better cope with that and live our lives to the fullest?
If there's ever something I want to do, I try and figure out a way that I can make it happen. So I like to hike a lot, and my brothers like to climb 14ers, and I didn't used to be able to do that with them, but I've, through what we were talking about with exercising, I've been able to get my diabetes under control, so I can do that kind of thing, but I have to, be really careful to monitor my blood sugar the whole time.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad that you have that. How about you, Sarah? How do you cope with your diabetes? What sort of things do you do?
I find that I cope with my diabetes more when I am exercising more and having more social interaction with people, because I don't think about it as much. If I think about it too much, then it makes me sad,
Yeah.
because it's such a big change.
So I find that having a supportive partner or a supportive friend or family member can really help with diabetes. It's been difficult for me too. A lot of the things I like to eat before I have to kind of cut out, and I've had to learn to eat healthier and to be a little more active. But it's been great for me and my husband, because since my diagnosis, we've been able to go out and do more things. I do have to be careful and check my blood sugar every day, but it's almost been a blessing in disguise, and I'm almost a little healthier despite the fact that I am suffering with this diagnosis. So it's actually been a wonderful thing, and it's great to have such a supportive partner. One more thing that we can talk about. Oh, one more topic. If you were to give advice and support to somebody else, what would you, that just found out that they had the diagnosis, what would be one of the first things you'd tell them? A.
To run. I was kidding. Well, technically to run, to do some exercise, but um, just to take it easy and just kind of do what they tell you to do in the meantime, and pray that everything gets better.
Hmm. How about you, Heather? What sort of advice would you give somebody who's just first found out that they have been diagnosed with diabetes?
I would tell them to not resist the diagnosis and to get the help they need, whether it's through their listening to their doctor, going to see a nutritionist, things like that.
Okay. And how about you, Sarah? What sort of advice would you give?
I would tell someone to not overthink it. Just listen to the people who know what they're talking about, and make sure that you are not denying that you do have this condition, because it won't go away unless you do the right things and take the right steps.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. So that was my 15 minutes. Who wants to be facilitator next?
So I think it's Abe now. Does that work, Abe?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and so then Maria Elise, you'll be the silent one. I'll be the monopolizer, and Sarah, you'll be the help rejecting complainer. Okay.
Cool. Let's get it going. So welcome to this support group for diabetes. I know we're online, so it's a little different to communicate and see each other and physically see each other, but I'd like to go around and see if we can share our names and where we're from so we could better understand and meet each other. I don't know if we can start with
I'll start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start. So I'm from Colorado. I'm from Colorado, but I live in Rexburg. It's my last semester at BYU Idaho, and I have type 1 diabetes, so that's why I'm here. Yeah, and I'm excited to be here.
Okay, thank you, Heather. Who's next?
I'm Sarah. I'm from Oregon, but I'm living in Rexburg right now.
Okay.
And I have diabetes also, and I just found out.
Okay, well, welcome, Sarah.
Wow.
And what about you, Maria?
Hi, I'm Maria. I'm from Nevada, but I live up here in Rexburg. It's also my last semester.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone to the support group. Now we all met each other a little bit, and the support group is very helpful. And there's just some basic rules, just so we're all comfortable, and we should always know that this is always in the lines of confidentiality, so we don't have to worry that others know that you have diabetes or are here. And simply, we should respect our differing opinions, and of course, no insulting, so we all feel comfortable. But I like to start with 4 steps, so we all have a good understanding about what diabetes is and how to manage diabetes in our lives. So there's 4 steps, and step number 1 is learn about diabetes. Step number 2 is know your diabetes ABCs. Step number 3 is how to live with the diabetes that we have. And number 4 is simply getting a routine care to stay healthy. So there's 3 kinds of diabetes. There's type 1 diabetes, which is basically where your body doesn't make insulin, which I heard that's someone has type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, that's me. I have type 1 diabetes.
So, and this is a problem just because, our body needs insulin to take sugar from the foods that we eat to turn it into energy. And so I'm pretty sure you take insulin every day to live, because that's what we need to do, and your body needs
Oh, yeah. I take insulin every day for sure, because if I don't, I would just absolutely die. So I definitely need to take it every day.
Absolutely. And there's also the type 2 diabetes, which is just, well, your body is not making enough of it. And so you take some pills to control your diabetes. And that's the most common type of diabetes, the type 2. And then there's the gestational, which is just where some women get it during pregnancy and usually goes away when the baby's born. But the one good thing that we need to learn about diabetes is simply how to take care of ourselves and to take it seriously. And I'd like to ask a question for the group. What emotions are developed or what emotions did you have when you found out that you had diabetes?
Well, I was only 14 when I found out that I had type 1 diabetes, and that was really, really hard for me. I was angry. I was mad at my family a lot, even though now I realize I shouldn't have been mad at them. I was mad at my doctor. I really just didn't want to talk to anybody about it. I didn't want my friends to know about it. It just wasn't a good time for me at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you for sharing. And Maria, what about you? What emotions?
Well, I just found out recently.
Yeah, go on, Sarah.
Sorry. And my family was really supportive and helpful, and I was not wanting to be helped because I was upset also. So I kind of locked them out for a few weeks, and I am here now.
Okay. Great, thank you for sharing.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And what, Maria, what kind of emotions did you feel when you found out that you had diabetes?
I kind of felt a little lost. I didn't really know what to do, but having doctor's help and kind of the steps he outlined have helped me to feel a little more in control of my life. But it was definitely difficult at first. I didn't understand why I was having this problem. So
Okay. Yeah, with emotions usually comes with actions, and that's when the step 2 comes in, when we have to know our diabetes ABCs. And there's obviously 3 letters, and for the A, we have to understand that we have to take the A1C test. And if you don't know what that is, it's a simple blood test that measures your average blood sugar level over the past 3 months. And that's really important to take because you just don't want those numbers to get too high. High levels of blood sugar can harm your heart, kidneys, and that can make everything even more difficult. So talking to your doctor about that definitely helps. And also B is for blood pressure, which is the force of your blood against the wall of your blood vessels. And if that gets too high, your heart has to work a lot harder, and it could cause a heart attack and again damage to your kidneys.
Yeah, when I was first diagnosed, my blood pressure was so high.
Really?
It was super high. Mm-hmm.
And how did you control that?
Well, I had to go to a nutritionist, and the nutritionist helped me to get my diet under control so that my blood sugar would be regulated, and that helped to get my blood pressure regulated. I also, had to reduce my sodium intake to below 2,300 milligrams a day. That was awesome. I hate that.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. And like a nutritionist is really good to talk to because they also mention which is our third part of step 2, which is about cholesterol, and they mention the 2 different parts of cholesterol, which is LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, and HDL, which is good cholesterol that helps remove the bad from the blood. And in step 3, according to doctors and just physicians, we have to learn how to live with it and cope with our diabetes. And like what Heather was saying, there's some foods that we eat to help us. Some are better than others, but I'd like to go through some of the food options and see what you guys think. So what's the best and the worst out of these 2 choices? low-fat yogurt or regular yogurt?
Oh, low fat's definitely better.
Okay.
I don't think
And
any yogurt is good.
any yogurt? You don't like yogurt?
No, I like it, but I don't think any of it is good because of the sugar for diabetes. Nowadays, they put sugar in all yogurt.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. And the most important thing with diabetes is not always, well, the sugar is the one big part of it, but the most important thing is keeping the fat count low and keeping the portion small. Because it isn't that sugar got us in trouble, it was eating too much of it, right? And
Hmm.
that's kind of what um the control of diabetes really is. And eventually fat turns into sugar, and that's kind of what happens when we eat food with too much fat. It converts into sugar, and even if we don't eat sugar and we eat a lot of fat, we can still get diabetes pretty easily. And that's
Yeah,
why.
they sell yogurt that is low fat and low sugar nowadays.
Yeah,
It's
like Greek
usually
yogurt.
doesn't taste very good, but yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, when I buy sugar, I usually try and buy low fat, or when I buy yogurt, I try and buy yogurt that's low fat and has like less than 5 grams of sugar in it, which is really not very much. They don't taste the best though.
Perfect. And I have a quick question for Heather. Heather, what do you think is a good routine for care to stay healthy?
Like in general, well, I try and exercise. At least 4 or 5 times a week. I make sure I never miss my doctor's appointments, and that I stay on top of taking my insulin and my blood pressure. I make sure that my diet is balanced, and every once in a while I meet with a nutritionist. I don't meet with a nutritionist as much as I did in the beginning, but in the beginning of my journey, which is quite a long time ago. But I try and eat fruits and vegetables and whole grain products, especially whole wheat bread, or I try and limit added things. Like if I'm going to add jam to my toast or something, I try and make it a really minimal amount, and buy a kind that's mostly just made from fruit. Another thing I really like is to try and eat a lot of fish that has heart healthy fats in it, like salmon. So I try and eat salmon at least once a week, and that's really helpful. I really like salmon too.
Perfect. Thank you, Heather, for that. And to finish off, well, there's the last step, which is step 4, and which is exactly what Heather was explaining to us. We should always, at least twice a year, find and treat any problems early. We should always check our blood pressure, a foot check in our feet, weight check, and review our self-care plan with our doctor and see if we're on plan and on track for any recovery. And always make sure that we have our cholesterol checked and all these fancy things in our body that diabetes does damage. But to finish off, I want to leave you guys with some actions that you can take and that you should take advantage of. The first one is to help your healthcare team make a diabetes care plan that will work for you. Sometimes, like we know that there's some foods that we don't like, or maybe we're allergic to, and the doctor should know this. And even though the doctor is technically not a nutritionist, he knows about food and which foods are better for you, and you could definitely talk to your doctor to help make this plan. And the second one is to learn to make wise choices for your diabetes each day, because sometimes we understand that we take it light, and we kind of forget that we have it maybe, and we might make some bad choices with our food. But we should understand that if we exercise daily, eat properly, and check our insulin and see if we're getting enough of it in our body, we'll be good to go. But if there's any questions, I don't know if maybe Maria has any questions for us today to finish off.
Not really that come to mind right now, but thank you.
Okay, perfect. Well,
Yeah, those suggestions were awesome. I hadn't thought about the ABCs before, so that was great.
Definitely.
great. Thank you, Heather. Well, I'll see you guys next week and enjoy your weekend.
Okay,
Cool.
awesome.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
So did you research this before, Abe?
Yes.
Maybe like 5 minutes before the meeting, I was like, I should probably get adjusted with
That would have been a smart idea. I felt like, oh wow, he knows so
Way to
much.
go. That's good.
Wish I'd had a little more of an action plan.
Okay, so our last thing here, Sarah will be the facilitator, Abe will be the silent one, Maria will be the monopolizer, and I will be the help rejecting complainer. Okay? And then after, yeah.
All right, so welcome everyone. Great to see you. Does anyone want to start with introductions? How about let's say, yeah, where are you from? Are you in school? And your name? Let's start with Maria Elise.
Hi, I'm Maria. I'm from Winnemucca, Nevada, but I'm living here in Rexburg with my husband, and I have type 2 diabetes. I was recently diagnosed just a few months ago, but I'm super excited to be in this group, and I hope to get lots of support out of it. Thanks, guys.
My name is Heather. I'm from Boulder, Colorado, but I'm living in Rexburg, and it's my last semester, and I have type 1 diabetes. I was diagnosed, when I was 14 or something, so, and yeah, so I'm here today.
Okay, nice to meet you. Abraham?
Yeah, I also have diabetes, and I live in New Jersey.
Baby. Oh, baby. Here you go, Mama.
Okay.
Here you go, Mommy. Here you go, Mommy. A wash fire.
Well, today I was thinking we could talk about some of the goals that we have on how we could deal with the diagnosis that we have to live with every day. And Abraham, do you have any specific goal that you want to accomplish?
Well, I wouldn't mind maybe getting rid of some nerve pain that I have in my body.
Some nerve pain?
Yeah.
I have a couple of goals that I want to keep in mind. I want to make sure that I'm regulating my blood sugar, and I want to make sure that I'm exercising daily, and also that I'm just kind of aware of what I eat and make sure that I'm taking my medication on time. Those are really the big goals for me, is just really maintaining my diabetes, because it is so difficult with this new diagnosis, and I am so grateful for the support that I have from my family. So,
Okay, those are great goals. What is one way that you would regulate your blood sugar better?
well, I would just, I'd take my blood sugar in the morning. I'd eat what was recommended by my doctor, and it's basically, for me, it's just regulating my blood sugar every day and making sure that I'm within the limits. Making sure that I'm taking enough insulin, but not too much, and that I'm eating when I should, so that I don't faint or go into a coma. I had one time where it was kind of close, where I hadn't eaten very much that day, and I was looking a little peaked and a little ill, and my husband said, "Honey, are you making sure that did you make sure to eat something? Did you make sure to take your insulin?" Oh, it was a little close, but yeah.
Wow,
That's what I would do.
that's scary.
One thing
How
that
would you- Go on, Heather.
One thing that I really feel like I need help with is, figuring out how I can exercise again because I've been having problems with gaining weight lately because I had foot surgery last month. And so it's just really hard to exercise. Like I know I'm supposed to, but it's really hard and it just really doesn't work for me.
Do you have any ideas on how you could exercise more with the foot injury or with your foot healing?
Well, yeah, I just really don't know what to do because, my doctor said that I could do things like that I could ride the bike and stuff, but when I do that, it still hurts, so I just really don't like to.
Yeah. We could think of something that you could do without using your foot, like free weights with your arms. You could sit down in your chair, just use some weights. Abraham, do you have any ideas for Heather?
Well, maybe you can go to a gym and pay a trainer to help you with that.
I actually have a great idea. Do you know those big, giant exercise balls? You could sit on one of those and do exercises on one of those. I mean, you wouldn't have to use your feet, and you could still get a lot of great exercise. I think it's the perfect solution, Heather.
Yeah, I guess I could try that. The problem is, those things can be expensive.
Oh, I know a great place where you can get a discount. It's called Amazon.
Yeah, I guess I could look into that.
Or eBay. They're great places too.
Yeah, there's some good places to get things. Abraham, you mentioned you had some nerve pain that you want to get help with.
Yeah.
Where is that nerve pain?
It's in my legs. Yeah, it's hard sometimes to walk around and do exercise because of that nerve pain, and it starts at the feet, and yeah, it's difficult.
Have you talked to your doctor about that?
I haven't gone to him in a while because I lost my insurance, but I should probably see if I could go back to him.
You could also look on the internet for other people who have the same experience and see what they've done to help.
Yeah.
I don't know, has anyone else in the group experienced nerve pain?
Yeah, I really haven't.
Okay.
I think since I've been working on my exercising and such, I haven't really had any problems with the nerve pain in my feet or in my legs. So I feel like I've been really blessed in that, but I know that there is an online support group it's not really a support group, but there is definitely something online that I've seen where you can go, and there's a group online or some webpage online where you can go and kind of ask questions about that and get support from other people who have that pain with their feet. So
Okay. So, Abraham, what is one thing that you are going to try and do to deal with the nerve pain?
Well, I'm gonna see if I could find that mysterious online group, and I'm gonna see if they have any advice. Maybe I could get some Medicare and go see a doctor as well.
That sounds like a good plan. And Maria, what is one thing that you're gonna commit to help you exercise more?
to help me exercise more, well, I've been exercising pretty regularly, but to exercise more, I'm going to try and drag my husband out of the house. I think what I'm really going to start doing is having a calendar, and every day that I exercise, I'm going to mark it off on the calendar and make sure that I'm getting at least the half hour that's recommended for us. And maybe I'll even try bumping it up to 45 minutes every day. And then I think really the biggest thing is just trying to get my husband's support and his help, or maybe even finding a buddy to go with me if he doesn't want to come with me, because he doesn't always want to come with me, you know. That's the joy in life of that.
Yeah, that can be really hard. That's hard for me because I feel like I don't have anybody to go with because I'm single. My roommates don't really like to work out, so yeah, it's hard because I don't have anybody to go with.
Oh, okay. Is that one of your goals, to go work out more, Heather?
Yeah, if I can figure out this foot problem, I guess I should do that.
Yeah. Do you have any other goals?
I'd like to start eating like more fiber. My thing is that whole grain, I know like we should eat whole grain pastas and stuff, but they taste so grainy. I just really don't like it. It kind of makes me gag sometimes.
Oh, yeah? Do you know of any other choices other than pasta that have fiber in them?
I do. The Fiber One bars are actually super delicious. They're not disgusting, and they won't make you choke. Heather, you should really try them. They're really beneficial. They give you an appropriate amount of fiber, and I'm sure you can find ones that are low sugar, low fat. So those would probably be a really great option if you don't like to eat the natural whole grains like the breads and the pastas and rice and stuff like that. I think that would be a great option.
Yeah, that would be a great thing to try. I know there's also some drinks that have fiber in them that you could just mix in with a drink that you enjoy. Well, there's powder that you just mix into a drink that you like, and that gives you more fiber.
When my grandma was living with us a few years back, she always mixed fiber things into her drinks. It looked gross.
Well, have you ever tried it?
I haven't, so I guess I could do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Abraham, do you have any advice for Heather?
I would say go watch some Food Network, and maybe they have some good advice there from the chefs to see what delicious foods you can make with fiber. Maybe you can try some spinach stuff and food. It sounds pretty good to me.
Okay. That's a good idea. They have a lot of advice on those shows. Maria, Elise, do you have any more goals that you would like to work on?
No, those ones I've talked about were my main goals. Pretty much just maintaining my blood sugar, maybe dropping some weight. I know that'll be a little more difficult, but I believe that I can do it and that I can be healthy and look my best and still feel my best despite this diagnosis.
Okay. So I guess now we could talk about how your relationships have maybe changed from having this diagnosis of diabetes. Has anyone experienced any changes in relationships because of it?
I actually have. It's been a little bit difficult. My husband and I used to be able to go out and just eat kind of whatever we wanted, and so that made date night kind of fun. And now we have to try new things, and we have to watch what I'm eating and regulate it, and that's actually been a little difficult because my husband and I both kind of like trying fun, crazy foods. And now I have to constantly watch and constantly monitor what I'm eating. It's actually really difficult, but he's been so supportive, and I just really appreciate it.
That's good that he's been supportive. I know it's hard to see changes. Heather, do you have any experiences?
Well, one change I don't really like is that my family, I know they're trying to be helpful, but sometimes they just try and be too helpful. Like, they are always giving me suggestions based on stuff they found on Google, and I just really don't like that because I kind of feel like, I'm the only one who's going through this, and they just really don't know. And so that can be really hard because I feel like their suggestions sometimes just kind of make me annoyed because they're, they just aren't really great suggestions.
Oh,
Yeah.
Heather, you must share your feelings with your family. It's so important. Open communication with your family is extremely important. If you don't talk with them, they won't know how you're feeling. I know that I definitely did not work on communication before with my family about it, and it was difficult at first because they had a million suggestions when they found out. But I communicated with them that I felt like they were kind of being a little judgmental and a little overbearing sometimes. I said it much nicer than that. And we worked out a happy medium. Communication. Communication is definitely key.
Yeah, I guess I could tell them that. I'm not sure how that would go, but I could try it.
Yeah, that's great advice. Abraham, do you have any changes in your relationships?
Not too much. My wife was really understanding, and she takes pretty good care of me now.
Okay, that's good. I would say that, yeah, Maria Elise is right. You need to share your thoughts with the people around you, and don't be scared to tell them that you need some space and time to figure out some things on your own, and just let them know what you feel and what you're thinking.
Okay, are we?
Well, that wraps up the 15 minutes.
Cool. So I guess the last thing we're supposed to do is, it said, we're supposed to debrief for a few minutes. It says for about 10 minutes. Share our observations, talk about what did we find challenging as a facilitator, and what did we learn about facilitating a support group.
I guess it was easier with only 4 people. I'm pretty sure if there was say 15 or 10 or 20 people, probably it'd be a little frustrating because I'm sure you'd have to spend maybe 15 minutes just on each little point that you're going to talk about because ones might have an opinion or maybe they won't.
Yeah, it's definitely easier with a smaller group, but I feel like one thing all of you guys gave introductions, and I didn't give an introduction because I thought, oh well, Heather did it, and I guess we're just continuing on. So that's something I wish I'd done because that would have helped with my last minute. Oh wait, something else to talk about? That would have taken up some time. I felt like I was able to get people to talk relatively well, but I wish I'd also prepared a little more. So I would have known a little bit better about what to talk about because I felt like I was kind of grasping for topics there a little bit. So I think preparation is key.
It's kind of, when I going first, I wasn't really sure what to say, but you guys had some great topics. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I think I should have prepared a little bit more though. Grasping for the topics was pretty hard. Thinking of something to talk about.
Abe, you were definitely the most prepared. You had, okay, here are the 4 steps, and then under the step, there are the 3 ABCs that you should know. And I was like, dang boy, somebody take a diabetes class recently?
No, Google definitely helped with that one. I was I searched for 10 web pages and I grabbed something from each one, I guess.
Yeah, Google definitely is actually helpful.
I actually thought about that, and I was like, maybe not. I mean, I've had diabetes classes in the past. I wish I just remembered a little bit more. You can see me grasping at straws there with the medication. What type of medication do you take?
I don't really have any idea how that works with diabetes. So.
Yeah, neither do I.
I think for type 1, that's what you're talking about. There's a pen, and then that you can like stick into yourself, and then there's the one where you prick your fingers, and there's something else, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. My uncle has diabetes, and he has to take his insulin so many times a day. He has this phone call person. He talks to this nurse on the phone all the time, like multiple times a day, at least once a day, and she walks him through taking his insulin and what he should eat based on what he's taking. That's kind of interesting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I read something about you have to like increase the amounts of insulin based on what you eat.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, super interesting. I feel like, so what did it say? This question said, what did you find challenging as a facilitator? I feel like it's kind of hard to know what to say to the person who's silent without like being like rude. And one of the things in the reading it was saying is that I think it said you can, trying to find, where did I write it? Oh, it said you're allowed to say to the group, what is your perception of the silent member's silence on the group? I feel like that would be kind of awkward to say, but the reading said you can just flat out say that. Because you like want to make this person who's silent feel like confronted or anything. You want them to make them feel comfortable, but at the same time you can ask the group how they feel about this person being silent. I think that's kind of weird.
That is super awkward.
Yeah.
It's kind of like saying like, how do you feel about this person being so rude? You know, or something like that.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, I felt bad as a monopolizer. I wanted to be like, hey guys, tell me to shut up. I was really over speaking. So
well, that one of the other things they said is that you can just flat out tell the monopolizer, we appreciate your suggestions, but we need to hear from the rest of the group. But I feel like that's hard to say to somebody.
Yeah, that is.
That's how it can be.
Yeah.
I felt like I was just asking the same questions to you to make sure you all participated. So what do you think about this? And what do you think about this? And your opinion. But I do feel good about how much I got people to participate. But yeah, it was definitely challenging. Preparation this time, I think, is key to being a facilitator. So you have that goal and objective in mind of what you want to kind of talk about.
And I don't know, I think in real life it would be easier because people will have real opinions and real knowledge, and probably the conversation will be able to flow easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if it was a bigger group, it would have gotten out of hand with me as the leader, because I don't know.
I'm sure you would have done well. It just takes practice. Lots of practice, I think. Just getting.
Well, I think
yeah. Go. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead. Oh well, I think it would be kind of tricky to have a bigger group. I think in the reading it was saying that if you want to have like a support group of 10 people, that you need to commit to 15 people coming because some people will drop out. And so I just think that would be a lot of people. If you have like multiple strong personalities, that'd be kind of hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I feel like it was hard to play each role too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I complain about? They're giving me good advice. It's not really in my nature.
I know, me too. It's like,
and then being the silent one, I can be a silent person. And then, of course, monopolizing was actually not too bad either.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
I have an opinion. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think we
awesome.
did a good job.
Well, it was definitely interesting. My roommate did this activity last semester, and I was telling her, I was like, I don't know how this is going to go, and she said that she thought it was actually really fun. This was actually interesting, so.
Yeah, it was.
So, Abraham, do you know how to record this and get it from YouTube?
I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna hit like the stop broadcast and
yeah, and make sure to give it like a few seconds to upload.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that now.